Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. What if I told you that a simple 1-cent coin, something most people ignore, could actually be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Today, we're diving deep into 4 fascinating Lincoln pennies that collectors are searching for right now. The 1973D, 1974S, 1980D, and the 1997 Lincoln cent. Some of these coins look ordinary, but hidden among them are rare errors, valuable varieties, and high-grade condition coins that can sell for shocking prices. So before you spend that penny, make sure you watch this video till the end. Let's begin. The 1973 D1 cent coin, part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, represents a fascinating period in American coinage history. Minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse side. This coin is one of the standard copper-based pennies produced during the early 1970s. The Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, had by 1973 become one of the most recognized and circulated coins in the United States. The design continuity, featuring Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, reflected both national pride and the enduring symbolism of Lincoln's presidency. The obverse of the 1973 D penny bears a familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. Sculpted by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's visage is rendered in detailed relief, showcasing his prominent cheekbones, distinctive beard, and thoughtful expression. Brenner's design, while over 6 decades old by 1973, had become a staple of American currency, embodying a sense of history and civic identity. The inscriptions on the obverse include the word liberty to the left of Lincoln, the date 1973 to the right, and the motto, "In God We Trust," arching along the upper edge of the coin. These inscriptions emphasize key aspects of American ideology and culture, connecting the coin to the broader national ethos. The D mint mark directly below the date signifies its production in Denver, distinguishing it from coins minted in Philadelphia, which bear no mint mark, and those from San Francisco, which carry an S. The presence of the Denver mint mark is important for collectors, as mint location often influences scarcity and value. The reverse of the 1973 D penny features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the earlier wheat ears reverse, which had been in use since 1909. The Lincoln Memorial itself is depicted with meticulous detail, from the columns and steps to the inner chamber, where a small representation of the Lincoln statue can be discerned if examined closely. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions "United States of America" along the top edge, "E pluribus unum" just above the memorial, and the denomination 1 cent along the bottom. The inclusion of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse reflects a period in American numismatic history where architecture and national monuments became a prominent motif, symbolizing strength, stability, and reverence for past leaders. Compositionally, the 1973 D Lincoln cent is made primarily of a copper alloy, consisting of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition was consistent with pennies minted from 1962 through 1982, prior to the full transition to the copper-plated zinc coins that began in mid-1982. The alloy gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color, which tend to develop a rich patina over time due to oxidation. This color and the coin's metallic luster are factors that collectors pay attention to, as well-preserved examples can display remarkable eye appeal. The diameter of the coin is 19.05 millimeters, with a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and it weighs approximately 3.11 grams. The edge of the coin is plain, without reeding, which has been a characteristic of Lincoln cents since their introduction. The production of the 1973 D Lincoln cent occurred during a period of high demand for coinage in the United States, as economic growth and inflationary pressures led to greater circulation of small denomination coins. The Denver Mint produced an estimated 2,160,000,000 pennies in 1973, reflecting both the coin's status as a workhorse of everyday commerce and the scale of U.S. coin production at the time. Despite the large mintage, many coins entered circulation quickly and were subject to wear and tear, resulting in few high-grade specimens remaining intact decades later. For collectors, the 1973 D penny is significant not only as part of the broader Lincoln cent series, but also because it represents the numismatic context of the early 1970s. During this era, the United States faced economic challenges, including rising inflation and the aftereffects of the Vietnam War. Coins such as the 1973 D-cent circulated widely in commerce, from cash registers to vending machines, reflecting ordinary American life and the everyday economic transactions of the period. The condition of a 1973 D penny can vary widely, with circulated examples often displaying considerable wear on Lincoln's features and the Lincoln Memorial. In grading coins, numismatists evaluate factors such as strike quality, surface preservation, and luster. Circulated examples generally fall into grades such as good G, very good VG, fine F, or very fine VF, while coins showing minimal wear and sharp details can achieve extremely fine EF, or about uncirculated AU status. A coin in mint state MS, which shows no signs of circulation and retains full original luster, is highly prized and may command a premium among collectors, especially if it has exceptional eye appeal or color. Although the 1973 D penny is not generally considered rare due to its high mintage, certain factors can increase its desirability. Coins with striking errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planch imperfections, are often sought by numismatists for their uniqueness. For instance, slight doubling on Lincoln's cheek or the date can transform an otherwise ordinary penny into a collectible piece with increased market value. The history of the Denver Mint itself adds another layer of interest. Established in 1906, the Denver Mint played a crucial role in producing circulating coinage for the western United States. By the 1970s, it had become one of the busiest mints in the country, with a sophisticated array of presses and dies capable of producing millions of coins efficiently. Coins bearing the Denver D mark carry a legacy of production excellence, and many collectors seek to have representation from each mint in their collections. From a broader numismatic perspective, the 1973 D Lincoln cent serves as a bridge between mid-20th century coinage and the modern era. The design stability of Lincoln's portrait combined with the Lincoln Memorial reverse provided a sense of continuity in American currency, while changes in composition in the early 1980s would soon usher in a new chapter for pennies. Collectors also appreciate that this coin reflects the economic and cultural conditions of the United States in 1973, offering a tangible connection to history. In terms of market value, most 1973 D pennies in circulated condition are common and hold primarily face value, though certain coins in uncirculated condition, with full luster and exceptional color, can be valued at a few dollars. Error coins, or those certified by grading services like the... Now, let's talk about the San Francisco Mint coin, the 1974S. The 1974 S1 cent coin, part of the Lincoln Cent series, is a coin that captures a snapshot of American numismatic history during the early 1970s. Minted at the San Francisco Mint, as indicated by the small S mint mark located beneath the date on the obverse, this coin represents one of the key minting locations in the United States during a period of significant coin production and change. The Lincoln Cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, had become one of the most recognizable coins in circulation, and by 1974, it had a well-established design and cultural significance. The obverse of the 1974 S penny bears a familiar right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, whose design had endured for over 6 decades by this time. Lincoln's portrait, with its careful detailing of the beard, facial features, and expression, continues to represent dignity, leadership, and the moral legacy of the 16th president. Around the obverse rim are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above Lincoln's head, "Liberty" to his left, and the date, 1974, to his right, with the small S mint mark just below the date. The S mint mark is significant for collectors, as coins in the San Francisco Mint often had lower mintages and were frequently associated with proof coinage, making them more desirable among numismatists. The reverse of the 1974 S Lincoln Cent features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat ears reverse that had been in use since 1909. The memorial is depicted with remarkable detail, showing the classical columns and steps, and if observed carefully, the statue of Lincoln within the chamber is visible, symbolizing both the honor given to the former president and the artistic ambition of U.S. coin design. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions United States of America along the top edge, E Pluribus Unum just above the memorial, and 1 cent along the bottom. This reverse design emphasizes national pride and continuity, linking contemporary coinage to American heritage and monumental architecture. Compositionally, the 1974 S. Lincoln cent, like other pennies of this era, consists primarily of a copper alloy, containing 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition was standard from 1962 through 1982, prior to transition to copper-plated zinc coins later in the decade. The metal gives the coin its reddish-brown color, which, over time, can develop a rich, natural patina. The diameter of the coin measures 19.05 millimeters, with a thickness of 1.52 millimeters and a weight of approximately 3.11 grams. And the edge is plain, consistent with the Lincoln cent design. The 1974 S. penny occupies a unique position in coin production because the San Francisco Mint primarily focused on proof coins and lower-volume collector coins rather than mass circulation. Proof coins are specially struck using polished dies and planchets, often multiple times, to achieve a mirror-like finish with sharp details. These coins are produced with collectors in mind, intended for inclusion in annual mint sets rather than for use in everyday transactions. The production of the 1974 S. Lincoln cent involved advanced minting techniques, with careful attention to die preparation, planchet polishing, and precise striking to achieve a high-quality finish. Proof coins of this year are highly sought after for their pristine surfaces, detailed relief, and reflective mirrors, which create a striking contrast with the frosted appearance of Lincoln's portrait. Although uncirculated in 1974, S. pennies were also produced in some quantities. They are less common than the proof versions, and their quality varies based on handling and storage conditions. Circulated examples, although rare, may show signs of wear or contact marks that slightly reduce their appeal. The history surrounding the 1974 S. Lincoln cent is intertwined with the economic and social context of the United States during the early 1970s. The nation was navigating inflationary pressures, changes in monetary policy, and the aftermath of the Vietnam War. Coins like the 1974 S. penny circulated widely in some contexts, but were primarily intended for collectors, reflecting both a need for durable coinage and a recognition of the growing collector market. From a collector's perspective, the 1974 S. Lincoln cent is valued not for rarity in the traditional sense, but for its condition, striking quality, and potential for special varieties or errors. Coins in exceptional proof condition can command premiums, especially if they exhibit sharp details, vibrant color, and reflective surfaces. Minor errors such as double dies, die cracks, or slight planchet imperfections can further increase a coin's desirability, as collectors prize unique and unusual specimens. Numismatists use grading systems to evaluate 1974 S. pennies, assessing wear, luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. Proof coins, typically graded using the PR or PF scale, range from proof 60, PR 60, for lower quality examples to proof 70, PR 70, for flawless coins exhibiting perfect surfaces. Circulated coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from good G to mint state MS, depending on the sharpness of the design and the preservation of details. The San Francisco Mint itself has a rich history that enhances the appeal of coins bearing the S. Mint mark. Established in 1854 during the California Gold Rush, the mint was originally intended to process gold from the western states. By the 1970s, it had evolved into a facility producing primarily collector coins and proof sets, using state-of-the-art presses and meticulous quality control. Coins from this mint, therefore, carry a historical legacy that complements their numismatic value. While the 1974 S. penny is not considered rare in terms of sheer numbers produced, its collector appeal lies in its proof quality and pristine condition. Collectors often seek to include one example from each year and mint in their Lincoln cent collections, making the 1974 S. a desirable addition. Over the decades, it has also served as a reference point for studying minting techniques, die varieties, and the evolution of coin design in the late 20th century. The coin's aesthetic qualities, historical significance, and connection to the broader Lincoln cent series make it a compelling piece for both novice and experienced collectors. In terms of market value, circulated in 1974, pennies typically hold close to face value, though those in superior condition or with proof qualities may be valued at several dollars or more. Certified coins from professional grading services, such as PGS or NGC, often command higher prices, particularly for proof coins graded PR65 and above. Collectors also look for examples with exceptional eye appeal, original color, and reflective surfaces, as these characteristics distinguish high-quality specimens from ordinary ones. The 1974 Lincoln cent also serves an educational purpose for numismatists. Studying its design, strike, and condition provides insight into the minting process, die preparation, and grading standards of the period. It demonstrates the intricacies of coin production, from the composition of the alloy to the precise pressure applied during striking, and illustrates how collectors assess coins based on both technical and aesthetic criteria. Over time, the 1974 penny has maintained its place in American coinage as a symbol of both everyday commerce and collector interest. Next coin, 1 cent 1980. The 1980 D1 cent coin is a significant example of the Lincoln cent series, continuing a long tradition of American coinage that honors the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Produced at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse. This coin is part of the everyday currency of the United States, while also being of interest to collectors due to its mint mark and the historical context of its production. The Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has endured for over a century, making it one of the most recognizable and iconic coins in the United States. The obverse of the 1980 D penny features the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose work had already been in continuous use for over 70 years by this time. Lincoln's facial features, including his distinguished beard, prominent cheekbones, and solemn yet thoughtful expression, are rendered in fine detail, capturing both the dignity of the 16th president and the artistic style of early 20th century numismatic design. Around the obverse rim, the coin bears inscriptions "In God We Trust" above Lincoln's head, "Liberty" to his left, and the date 1980 to his right, with the small D mint mark appearing just below the date to signify its origin in Denver. The Denver mint mark is important for collectors, as coins from different mints can vary in rarity, condition, and demand. The reverse of the 1980 D Lincoln cent carries the Lincoln Memorial design, which was first introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, replacing the earlier wheat ears reverse that had been used since the coin's introduction. The Lincoln Memorial itself is depicted in exquisite detail, showing the classical columns, the steps leading to the entrance, and even a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln within the inner chamber. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions "United States of America" along the top, "E Pluribus Unum" just above memorial, and 1 cent along the bottom. This design not only emphasizes the architectural grandeur of the memorial, but also reinforces a connection between the coin and national heritage, providing a sense of pride and historical continuity for the American public. Compositionally, the 1980 D penny is primarily made of a copper alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition was standard for pennies minted from 1962 until mid-1982, after which the U.S. Mint transitioned to a predominantly zinc core with a thin copper plating. The copper content gives the coin its characteristic reddish-brown color, which can develop a rich patina over time depending on storage conditions and environmental factors. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and a weight of approximately 3.11 grams, with a plain edge consistent with Lincoln cents of this period. The 1980 D penny was minted during a period of large-scale coin production. The Denver Mint produced approximately 4.2 billion Lincoln cents in 1980, reflecting both the demand for circulating coinage in daily commerce and the Mint's capacity to meet the needs of the national economy. The United States during this era was experiencing inflationary pressures, with the cost of goods rising steadily. As a result, small denomination coins such as the penny remained crucial for everyday transactions, from grocery purchases to vending machines. While the vast majority of 1980 D pennies entered general circulation and were subject to wear, Collectors also sought higher quality examples in uncirculated condition, or those with exceptional luster and strike quality. Despite the high mintage, coins that were carefully preserved can retain remarkable detail and aesthetic appeal, making them attractive for collectors. Circulated 1980. D pennies typically show varying degrees of wear, particularly on Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and beard, as well as on the raised details of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Coins with minimal wear, retaining most of their original luster, are graded as extremely fine EF or about uncirculated AU, whereas coins showing heavy wear fall into lower grades, such as good G, very good VG, or fine F. Numismatists use these grades to evaluate the condition, rarity, and potential value of each coin. Uncirculated 1980 D pennies, particularly those in mint state MS, are highly sought after by collectors. Mint state coins show no signs of circulation and retain the full detail of the original strike, including the sharpness of Lincoln's features, the clarity of the date and mint mark, and the crisp depiction of the Lincoln Memorial. Within the mint state category, coins are further classified from MS-60 to MS-70, with higher numbers indicating flawless surfaces and superior eye appeal. Additionally, the 1980 D penny can occasionally be found with minor errors, which increases collector value. Common errors include die cracks, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or double dies, where portions of the design appear duplicated due to misalignment of the die during striking. Such errors are prized among collectors because they are unique and provide insight into the minting process. The Denver Mint itself has a long and storied history that adds context to coins like the 1980 D penny. Established in 1906, it was created to serve the growing need for coinage in the western United States. By 1980, the facility had developed advanced techniques for mass coin production, including high-speed presses, die polishing, and rigorous quality control measures. Coins bearing the Denver Mint mark are a reflection of this history and the Mint's role in ensuring that American currency remained abundant, durable, and consistent in design. The 1980 D Lincoln cent also holds historical significance within the broader Lincoln cent series. This period represents a stable era in coin design, with the familiar Lincoln obverse and Lincoln Memorial reverse providing continuity for over 2 decades. Collectors value these coins not only for their numismatic properties, but also for their connection to the social and economic climate of the United States in 1980. At the time, the nation was dealing with inflation, energy crises, and political transitions, all of which were mirrored in the everyday life of ordinary Americans who used coins like the penny for small transactions. Market value for the 1980 D penny depends primarily on condition and collector demand. Most circulated examples are valued close to face value, though uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can command several dollars. Error coins, particularly those certified by professional grading services, such as PCDS or NGC, often fetch higher prices due to their rarity and uniqueness. Collectors also consider factors such as luster, color, strike quality, and absence of blemishes when determining a coin's value. Beyond monetary considerations, the 1980 D Lincoln cent serves as an educational tool for numismatists and enthusiasts. Studying this coin offers insights into the minting process, the evolution of coin design, and the characteristics that define coin grading standards. Observing the fine details of Lincoln's portrait, the texture of the memorial, and the quality of the strike can help collectors develop skills in identifying coins of exceptional quality and recognizing subtle. Now we move into the modern era, the 1997 Lincoln cent. The 1997 1-cent coin is a part of the long-standing Lincoln cent series, which have been in continuous production since 1909. It represents both the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln on American coinage and the evolution of the penny to the late 20th century. In 1997, the Lincoln cent had already celebrated nearly 90 years of production, maintaining a consistent obverse design, while the reverse continued to feature the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse of the 1997 penny features the familiar right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose artistry had become an integral symbol of American coinage over the decades. Lincoln's detailed features, including his beard, prominent cheekbones, and contemplative expression, reflect both the dignity of the 16th president and Brenner's meticulous approach to portraiture. Along the rim, the inscriptions "In God We Trust" sit above Lincoln. Liberty is positioned to his left, and the date 1997 appears to his right. If the coin was minted at Denver, it bears a small D beneath the date, while a coin from San Francisco carries an S. Coins without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia. These mint marks are important for collectors, as they distinguish production sites and can affect rarity and desirability, especially for collector sets. The reverse of the 1997 Lincoln cent features the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had remained in continuous use since 1959. The memorial is depicted with careful architectural accuracy, showing the stately columns, steps, and the statue of Lincoln visible inside the inner chamber, representing both the president's historical legacy and the artistry of U.S. coin design. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions "United States of America" along the upper rim, "E Pluribus Unum" just above the memorial, and 1 cent along the bottom. The reverse design emphasizes American heritage and national pride, offering continuity to the coinage while celebrating Lincoln's contributions to the nation. Compositionally, the 1997 penny is made from copper-plated zinc, a change that was implemented in mid-1982 when the U.S. Mint shifted from the traditional 95% copper alloy to a primarily zinc core with a thin copper coating. The coin contains 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, giving it a bright reddish appearance similar to the older copper pennies, but at a significantly reduced production cost. This composition is lighter than the previous solid copper pennies, with the coin weighing approximately 2.5 grams compared to the earlier 3.11 grams. The diameter remains 19.05 millimeters with a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and the edge is plain, consistent with Lincoln cents for nearly a century. The 1997 1-cent coin was produced during a period of modernization at the United States Mint, which included high-speed presses, improved quality control, and advanced striking techniques. The mintage for 1997 was substantial, reflecting the ongoing need for pennies in circulation, as well as their inclusion in annual proof and collector sets. Circulation coins were distributed widely across the country, appearing in everyday transactions, such as vending machines, parking meters, and cash purchases. Despite the ubiquity of pennies in daily life, collectors often seek well-preserved examples from each year to complete date and mint mark sets. The 1997 penny holds value for collectors not because it is particularly rare, but because it represents the continuity and evolution of the Lincoln cent series. Coins in circulated condition generally hold only face value, as the mintage numbers for Philadelphia and Denver were in the billions. However, uncirculated examples, particularly those with full luster, sharp details, and exceptional eye appeal, can be valued higher in the collector market. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, produced specifically for collectors, display a mirror-like finish and frosted details, making them especially desirable. Grading is a critical consideration for collectors of the 1997 Lincoln cent circulated coins are evaluated on the Sheldon scale, from good G to extremely fine EF, and about uncirculated AU, while uncirculated and proof coins are graded on the Mint State MS or proof PR scales. Key factors in grading include strike quality, preservation of Lincoln's features, clarity of the date and mint mark, and overall surface condition. Coins that retain their original luster and show minimal contact marks are more valuable to collectors. Error coins, though relatively uncommon in 1997, can also increase a penny's appeal. Examples include die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet defects. Such anomalies are highly prized because they are unique and can illustrate the minting process, offering collectors a glimpse into the technical and human aspects of coin production. The historical context of the 1997 penny adds to its numismatic interest. The late 1990s were a period of economic growth in the United States, with rising technology sectors, increased consumer spending, and ongoing developments in monetary policy. The penny, though a small denomination, remained integral to everyday commerce, symbolizing affordability and persistence of traditional coinage in a rapidly modernizing economy. Collectors often appreciate coins from this period as accessible entry points into collecting, while also representing the continuity of a century-long design tradition. The 1997 1-cent coin also serves as an educational tool, allowing numismatists to study the evolution of Lincoln cent composition, minting techniques, and die design. Comparing these pennies to earlier solid copper coins or later issues highlights how changes in materials and technology affected coin production. Furthermore, observing the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the details of the Lincoln Memorial, and the quality of the strike can help collectors refine their skills in identifying high-quality examples and spotting errors. Over time, the 1997 penny has maintained its role as both a circulating coin and a collectible item. It bridges the historical continuity of Lincoln's presence on U.S. coinage with the practical realities of modern production techniques, including the copper-plated zinc composition that continues to the present day. The coin's design simplicity, cultural symbolism, and collector appeal make an enduring part of American numismatics. In conclusion, the 1997 1-cent coin, though modest in denomination, represents a fascinating intersection of history, art, economics, and collecting. Its depiction of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse connected to nearly a century of coinage tradition, while its copper-plated zinc composition reflects the practical considerations of late 20th century minting. For collectors, it provides opportunities to study grading, strike quality, and minor errors, while for the general public, it remains a familiar object of everyday commerce. Its continuity, accessibility, and symbolic significance ensure that the 1997 penny remains a valued part of both historical study and coin collecting, exemplifying the American money. If you love discovering valuable coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a hidden coin treasure. Comment below, which year penny do you want me to cover next? Until next time, happy collecting.